adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on.
Before we dive into today's episode, we want to simply say thank you for your support. For season 2, we're running a couple giveaways and we'll be selecting a couple of you to win some No Snooze merch, some products over at Orgain.com, or a $50 Amazon gift card. If you enjoy the podcast and find value in what we're doing, all you have to do is subscribe to us, leave us a 5-star review on Apple, and DM us on Instagram at NoSnoozePodcast, letting us know you've entered the giveaway. Thanks to all of you, the No Snooze Podcast is climbing the charts, and we're well on our way to spreading this message to the masses. Enjoy today's episode. Mike, open us up.
We're back here at the No Snooze Podcast, the interview series. Very special guest today, Vegan and the Beast. Give it up, everyone in the crowd. CV, thank you.
Yes. We have very special episode for you guys today. We are welcoming Veronica and Francesca, a.k.a. the Vegan and the Beast. Yes. They're involved in so many incredible things, from their career in law enforcement to the work they do as lifestyle entrepreneurs. They are fellow podcasters where they discuss an intense work-life balance and provide helpful tips to leave you encouraged and motivated. Veronica's passion for fashion has led her to become the CEO of Belleza NYC. And Francesca's work as a health coach and thyroid expert led her to becoming the founder of Live Wellness. Mm-hmm. Ladies, welcome to the pod. Yes,
Mike. Thank you. Thank you
welcome,
for having
guys.
us.
Yes, and special thank you for providing some cookies from
Martha's Country Bakery, based out of?
Well, they have a few locations. They have a few locations.
Queens
and Brooklyn.
Incredible.
Brooklyn.
Now, did you know that we were like into cookies, or is that just like
we knew?
Oh, you did? Okay.
The Oreos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're big cookie killers. He's the biscotti gotti.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
This was a perfect mix.
Yeah.
I was just telling CV before this that I'm either on a diet or I'm binging on cookies.
Same.
Yeah.
She's a cookie monster too.
Cookie monster.
How could you not be?
I know. I love cookies. Chocolate chip cookies are my.
And we also figured out that we both are addicted to coffee. So
yes.
We did find that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a lot of talking today, and I think it's gonna go in so many different directions, which we're so excited about. Yeah. But where we like to start is, I guess, giving us, because we're interested too, but also the listeners, a brief background of how you guys kind of grew up, and maybe your family dynamic, anything you want to discuss from the early years.
And who's the vegan, who's the beast?
Yes.
Clarify that, because I know that's always
Okay, so I'm Francesca and I'm the vegan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Veronica. I'm the Beast.
And there's a little like play on words, because she's short and petite and she's the Beast, and I'm tall and I'm the vegan. So it was funny when we came up with that.
And you just said, I'm the Beast. Like
I'm the Beast.
Exactly. So, well, where to start? I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. Shout out Brooklyn.
Yes.
BK.
All day. And I lived there for most of my life, and then my parents actually moved upstate to Orange County.
Okay.
And they did that because they wanted to take us out of bad environments. But little did they know that like everyone from the Bronx lives in Orange County. So, so we grew up with the city anyway. But once I graduated high school, I came right back down to Brooklyn. I have a twin sister. I have a younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're actually fraternal. So we don't look anything alike.
Oh, okay.
Like to the point where my hair is like this and hers is like tight curls.
Kind of like
That's
mine.
pretty cool,
Very
though.
curly.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think you're missing an opportunity there. I would use her to like do appointments that I didn't want to do. Like, if I had a brother, I'd be like, yeah, go to this
You
for
do
me.
have a brother.
Please.
His name is Frank.
No, a twin brother.
A twin
He looks
brother.
something like
But
me.
yeah, well, when we were younger,
You did that.
we still didn't look alike, but like all the teachers thought we looked alike.
That is so cool, though.
Yeah. It was cool growing up. You always have somebody.
Yes.
You know?
So is that your only sibling, or?
No, I have a younger sister
Younger
as
sister
well.
too, okay.
Yeah, and we actually, all three of us live together currently, back in Brooklyn. But just a little bit about my career background. I never really wanted to go into law enforcement, and I kind of like found myself in law enforcement. I was actually an artist. I used to be able to look at something and draw it like not like a picturesque type drawing, but I used to be able to draw. And
is that like a photographic memory, or is that different?
That's a little different.
That's very literal, right?
Yeah, a photographic memory is that you see something and later on you can see the same thing. But I was in this program for advertising, art, and design. And I was in the advertising part, and the teacher shot down every like idea that I could ever come up with. And she got me to the point where I gave up with drawing. And all my friends were in the law enforcement program, so I joined my friends, not thinking like I would run with that.
Wow.
But then it just turned into this huge thing where right after that I went to John Jay College. I started as an investigator with the city, and now I'm in my law enforcement career.
Question on that. Sorry, Mike.
I was going to say, are you drawing like the perps now?
Well, so my mom,
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
Start drawing them.
my
But
mom,
the teacher never got you to the point where you could draw good photos, so now you're drawing like stick figures.
Mike sounded, the way he just said perps, sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
Well, we did an hour
I
of
heard
I was
it.
just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say.
yeah,
I was just gonna say. So
he heard it.
yeah, we had to get onto some of the lingo before we started.
Yes.
Yes.
So perp is obviously now perpetrator, right?
That's correct.
I'm going to drop a lot of lingo.
But question on the family dynamic growing up.
Yeah.
Was anybody in your family in law enforcement, or was this just like so random that you were like, no, I'm going from being an artist to I guess law
Well,
enforcement?
so I have an aunt and an uncle who are retired NYPD. My uncle's a
Okay.
retired detective, and my aunt is a retired police officer. So, but weird family dynamic. I wasn't close with them until college and currently. So growing up, I was not around them at all. Like it wasn't like, oh, I want to be a cop because my family is in it. No, it wasn't
But mom,
like that.
dad, not in.
No,
Cool.
my mom, I actually got my drawing skills from my mom. She used to like design wedding gowns and stuff like that. She never ran with it, no snooze, but but I definitely got my talent from her. My dad works for the city, so
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, but
That is a great start.
Yeah.
And now, Veronica, bless us with your past.
Well, I'm definitely from New York, but I like to say that I belong to New York because I do, because I was raised in different parts of New York. And the reason why is because I'm an only child, so I was raised with my mom, just her and I. And you know, when rent got too high, we'd have to move and jump around. And we started from Brooklyn to Queens to Long Island. And really, I grew up every part, like you can imagine. So, and it's not until now that everything's stable now in my 30s, well, late 20s, early 30s. But I actually was born in El Salvador. So I started out there living with my aunt and my uncle, and my mom was here, and she was trying to make it, try to bring me here to just have a better life. And she worked so many jobs, 3 jobs. Sometimes I would see her working 3 jobs. Wow. And she worked not like it would be like at a McDonald's. That's why I have this like love for McDonald's, because there is like some sort of relationship, because she always worked there. And but she would always try to get me going to school, doing the right thing. And so most of my life, I would say that I was out in Long Island. So I love Long Island, but I'm also a city person. So, but yeah, I ended up going to college, John Jay. We went to the same college, but we never saw each other, which is really
college.
Oh, how funny
Really?
is that?
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And same thing. I did not want to. I never thought that I would be in law enforcement, but it kind of just like landed on my lap. I actually wanted to be a rockette. I danced a lot, so
Hell
Mike too.
yes. Yeah. See these legs?
I danced a lot. I was very artistic.
I'm intrigued already by the career switches.
Yeah, it was very
This is great.
artistic. Yeah. And I wanted to be a rockette. That was my dream, actually.
Did you see them when you were young or something? Or?
Yeah.
Are Rockettes extremely
do
tall?
They're like as tall as you. I think the shortest one is 5'7". I think 5'7".
We'll get you some heels.
Yeah,
It's fine.
So
Yeah, no, because I went to see them and they're incredible, obviously.
Yeah.
But I always remember, and they're very close in height,
Very
right? They do
tall.
that. They do that purposely.
yes,
purpose.
purposely.
I'm sure, obviously, for the visual. But sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, and I knew by the age of 16 I wasn't gonna grow anymore. So so that was
sad.
done.
Wow, so that got shut down.
Yeah. And then it just one thing led to another. I guess my mom actually wanted me to be a lawyer. They wanted me to be a lawyer, and I just didn't see myself doing that. But I knew, I guess maybe because at that time they wanted me to do something with law, right? So I was like, oh, I'll go to John Jay and see if I can, do anything. And I then was like, oh, maybe I'll get into like the feds, go that route. But I actually did go to the feds. I did end up working for the IRS for a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And then I found myself where I am now. And it's just an interesting,
Wow.
yeah.
Life is interesting.
It definitely is. But I will just say now, us being new dads, we have an extreme appreciation for any scenario where there's a single parent in the household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we are obviously fortunate enough. We have our wives to assist and we assist them, I should say.
Yeah. We're the backup
But
dancers.
I mean, to think of a single mom coming over, creating opportunity for
Yeah.
you. That's a beautiful story in itself. So thank you for sharing that.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Go
I
ahead,
wonder
go
if we had anyone that worked in any fast food places, because I love McDonald's too, and I just
love
don't know
McDonald's.
where it came from. So
Yeah.
maybe there was someone in our family line that
And
used to work there.
that's
Yeah.
the first. That's the first time that I've actually heard. Yeah, I'm building off of what you're saying in a more serious manner. McDonald's means something to you because of the history that it.
I still eat
it's
it.
there,
And
yeah.
and it's funny because I go to, if you look at my Instagram, I'm always at like the hottest new place, a new, I was at Cipriani's like last weekend.
Ooh.
Cipriani.
I like
I
Cipriani's.
can eat. I literally can have like a 5-course meal from a really expensive restaurant, but I will always go back to having French fries and a burger.
Their branding is so good, McDonald's.
It's incredible.
So good.
It is.
Quick on the McDonald's
Go ahead.
for vegan. No, seriously, no.
She's probably
And
like, what's going on?
like
Thank you for the
throwing up.
sponsorship, McDonald's.
not to bash it. I'm curious if there's vegans out there that,
They hate
or even somebody who's not a vegan. What can I order from a fast food place
You're
that
not a
fits
vegan?
a vegan lifestyle?
You're not
I had
vegan?
steak last night, Mike.
Well, that's the funny thing. There's many different types of vegans. There's vegans that
They're meat
won't.
vegans.
No, but there's vegans that like will eat the French fries from McDonald's, but then there's vegans that won't because other things are fried, like chicken nuggets might be fried in the same oil
Gotcha.
that
Oh,
the fries
there's
were
levels.
fried, or like it's next to the burger. So they
What would
won't.
you order if you went to McDonald's?
If I went to McDonald's, I would probably order
I feel like I know what you would order.
French fries. I don't even
My
know what
mouth is
McDonald's
watering.
has right now.
Like a
You
salad?
can get a
I mean,
number
a
two
salad,
with bacon.
I
a salad with no chicken.
McDouble. McDouble
Chicken
no,
nuggets.
no, you can say,
McDouble no burger?
Yeah, people do that.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
secret
I
sauce,
don't
all
like
stuff.
wasting money on salad unless it's
Okay.
a decent salad.
Look at the camera and tell it to Dana. Dana,
I do
listen
not
up.
waste money on salad.
That's my
because
girl.
and this is why
we just became best friends.
No, but
I
this
literally
is-
say that
I
all
have
the time
a huge
to her.
reason. Like
$13 salad.
Preach.
Well, one, it's very expensive, but they don't give
Like
you
Mike.
like it's not. I don't feel like it's a complete meal. I would rather make one at home and know that it's like a decent salad
Yep.
and meal, and I'll get my.
What
worth
about the
out of it.
gourmet salads, like the chops out there? The chopped. You guys have chopped in the
Yeah,
city?
yeah.
Just get a sharp knife and
Yeah, I guess
I
it
do
is
like chopped because they chop everything, make
Don't- right,
everything
don't back
together.
down.
But it is very
again, it's very
overpriced.
expensive.
It is. It is expensive. I'll give you that.
Back on your word.
Definitely.
There is
definitely
like
expensive.
one place right now that I will buy a salad from, and it's called Local Kitchen on Ditmars Avenue in Queens.
Shout out.
Shout out.
What is it?
Local
Ditmars.
Kitchen.
Local Kitchen.
She gets
Ditmars?
the salmon from there.
Oh my
The
God.
salmon
The
sandwich?
salmon sandwich there is really great. So I have this thing when I love something, I will run it to the ground. Like
I can relate.
I will run it to the
Cookies.
ground. Like I've loved that salmon. I've been eating it for the past like week. Like
Wow.
So
every
every
day
day
until
you'll
I
get
get
the same
sick.
thing?
Until I get sick of it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I'll go
And then
on
you
to
go
the
to the
next
next one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the salads
Wow.
there, you can, it's like build your own type thing.
Yep.
They have ones you can buy, but when you build your own, it's like a decent
It's a
meal.
good portion.
It's
Yeah.
a
It's
meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have a salad from McDonald's, it's like I'm eating water.
I do not recommend the salad from McDonald's.
I don't
would-
either.
You tried it?
Yeah.
So this is again, I'm very selfish in interviews because I like to learn as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you guys gave us a brief background on your family dynamic. What is one lesson that you can take from your families growing up that you apply today?
Good question.
Honestly, I've seen, because like for me in particular, like I was in the arts realm and then I went to law enforcement, and I don't, not to bash like my parents' parenting style or anything like that, but I think when a kid is young, you should really like support them in their strengths. And instead of saying, oh no, that doesn't make you any money. Because aside from being an artist, like I love doing hair, I also dance and stuff like that. But like my parents were like, oh, that doesn't make money. You can't make money. Do this. You can't make money with that. Do that. And when you're passionate about something, the money will come. So
Right.
it's not like,
Well,
Wow.
at that time when we were coming up, that wasn't the case. Now there's so many more ways to make money that it, like looking back, now everyone's like, of course, I could have done anything.
Yeah. Right.
Because the
Yeah.
internet is like the equalizer in all the businesses. So it's interesting.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What about for you, Veronica?
I grew up with, again, my mom, single mom, and from a little girl, my mother always said, "You're the best. You're great. You're gonna be independent.
Hold on.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
independent. You're gonna be the best of the best." And that was drilled from when I was a little girl.
You're going to wear hoop earrings. You're going to have
Yes.
sparkles.
Yeah.
Fire
That
hoop
confidence.
confidence. But no, the confidence is extreme. I always talk about. Mike actually makes fun of
Yes,
me
that's
because I
huge.
bring my daughter. Tell me what you think of this. Is
Listen,
this a little
don't
much?
make me sound
I literally-
bad. That'll make fun of you.
Yes.
But I bring my daughter in front of the mirror and I rub her back and I tell her how much her parents love her, and she is absolutely beautiful. She can do anything she wants in this world. We're always going to stick by you. And
Yes.
you just have to be kind to people and respect everybody. But I let her look at herself, and she's only 8 weeks now, and she lifts her neck up, and you see like when I did this, no joke, in the
Yes.
hospital. So
Yeah.
you're
Wow.
talking like day one. And now it's a ritual that I have with
Yes.
her. But so you would say that is something that definitely
Absolutely.
will
If I
only
had a
help.
daughter, I would definitely do the same exact thing that my mom did with me. Like, and granted, when I was
No, I'm not against
Sorry,
it.
go ahead.
when she didn't speak English, it was only Spanish, so there was a language barrier. There's a lot of things that my mother went through at 23, 24 that, for me, when I think about it now, I don't even know how I could go through that, and her being a single parent and with a child, but raising me like that was embedded into my head to be an independent woman. And that was, as I was growing up, like, you have to be independent. Don't depend on any man. But now I will say this, I do believe in that, but I also do believe that you need a man for sure. 100% raising a family. You do need a man. And I've always felt, some type of way now that people may have this thing where.
Are you saying like a father figure in their life?
Yeah, that you need a father figure for
Right.
your children. I know there's like a different movements, and maybe females feel differently now about it, but I always believed that growing up, you can be independent, but you can also have a family dynamic with a man and a woman, and just raising a child.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I was laughing about the baby thing, I want to clarify.
Yeah,
I
now
love
he's
what
gonna
you
clarify.
said,
Now he's
but
gonna
I have to
clarify.
correct it because everyone's like, "What a terrible person!" He makes fun of him from putting a
No, because
confidence in his daughter.
I still look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself I'm great every day, and Mike laughs at that. So.
She just gets in the way. So I take the baby and I'm just like, "Who's your favorite? You love Daddy. Who's your favorite? Daddy's your favorite." So selfishly, I keep telling her her
Yes.
favorite.
Yeah.
But we'll get to
That's
that.
good.
Right
Yeah.
now, I feel like she's not retaining much, so I don't want to waste all the good, dimes early.
Right. I got you.
I do just want
Go
to
ahead.
add, like, with the whole confidence thing, a lot of women have a lot of struggles later on in life when there's not that confidence built up from young.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's a
really
good point.
good that
you're doing that
you're
now.
starting that now.
Good. Well,
Yeah,
I'm good.
confidence
And in every
everything.
area of
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
from like
Yeah.
relationships to careers
Yep.
to even friendships. Like if you don't have that confidence in yourself, there's going to be struggles.
It's kind of a scary time too, because we're going to be raising daughters during the age of TikTok, Instagram, where confidence is even harder to come by.
Yes.
So now it's like if you don't instill that early,
and it has to be genuine too, because there's a lot of fake and phony stuff, obviously, on on people's Instagrams and stuff of you can always put out what you want to portray.
Yeah.
So in my household specifically, I always want to build that foundation, early on, so then it carries over and she'll be ready for anything. But I also think that pairing the confidence with a passion and then a work ethic becomes a deadly combo.
That is a deadly combo.
You know what I mean? And then you could pretty much do anything in your life.
Yeah.
Going back to the law enforcement thing, right? Obviously, if people are on YouTube, everybody can see you guys.
Yes.
You're not your typical law enforcement.
I love when people say that.
I know.
No, I mean it in a great way. You guys are very pleasing to the eyes, right? You're attractive
I like that.
women.
Well said.
No, and I mean that with all due respect.
Of course.
But so, has there been any challenges coming up in a law enforcement agency that you faced being women? I guess as women in uniform?
I think it's funny because yes and no. The agency we work for in particular, it's funny because when we're ready to work no matter what the thing is, but a lot of the guys that we work with are like, oh no, you don't have to do that, and we're like, no, we want to do it. Like, let us do it.
That's for sure.
Or like when we're doing something, it's good also because we always have backup. Like they keep like a hawk's eye on us.
I'm sure.
Yes.
But it's good because we get to experience a lot of things because we don't look per se like law enforcement. We can do a lot of undercovers, or they can use us for many different things.
I don't think I don't see any struggle. It really is. We work really hard.
Yeah.
So I think it's like she said. We do notice that the boys, we like to call
the men,
the boys,
the boys,
the men,
the men,
the men.
The boys.
They always have our backs for sure. Maybe I could see when we're out on the street, when we are enforcing, sometimes we do get, depending on the person that we're dealing with, culturally, they may not see, they'll see a woman in uniform and they will not respect it because maybe back home, women are second class.
Below them.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm giving that person an order, there's been times I've been in situations where there is a little, tension.
Right.
And I mean, something like that did happen once, and like the boys, it got to the point where I felt like the person was gonna hit me. And I was in my head, I'm like, I really hope that you hit me right now because these guys are going to jump all over you. And
wow.
Yeah, there's that.
yeah.
But so, and when we're firm believers, obviously, in women empowerment, and I personally believe that women can do any job that a man can do and do it well. And I'm not just saying that because, I am a father of a daughter, but I'm also realistic in a sense, especially when it comes to law enforcement, right? Like if there's a scenario where you have a really big individual, and no, physical is not everything, but if somebody is really resisting arrest against one of you two, I mean, you have to be mindful of that, right? Like
Absolutely.
when you're going, I guess, into a perp situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Going to make a collar.
And like how do you like deal with that? And I think confidence has a big part.
That is
presence.
key. Your presence is everything, and that is something I also kind of instruct in the academy and where we are.
Wow, awesome.
But your
Look at
presence, that's the first thing that people see. And we have some people that come into the academy, and I would look at them and I said, if I was a perp, I would blow and you would fall. Like you can't. You have to have that presence about you. It's all about the confidence.
Presence and confidence.
It's
and
huge.
We've been in situations where we're talking to somebody that is bigger than us and maybe resisting arrest or anything like that. But I think with women too, we have a way of talking to people and in those situations, that's what I've noticed is it's really your verbal judo. That's
the other step. So it's presence, then verbal judo.
Wow.
And that is what you talk to these people, and they, believe it or not, 99% of the time they become compliant.
Right.
You know, we've never had an issue where like something crazy happens.
No,
maybe
not
once
us.
in a while, but like, but nothing.
That's
where
amazing.
It's
That
crazy.
really is
Well,
amazing.
you have to know how to talk to people.
For sure.
A perp, they're still a person, right?
That's gonna be
Yes.
our used.
We're gonna use that a lot today. No, but if you talk to them like they're a person,
Yes.
they're more receptive to that.
Absolutely.
We do have people, some females, who are like very aggressive and then they get removed from the scene.
Like you're
because
almost
it's
like you're almost trying too hard in a
Yes.
sense, right?
yeah,
You
or
have
they're
to
trying to be
overcompensate.
Yeah.
someone that they're not, like, you know, and it's like you don't have to be that in this situation right now. Like, you don't.
Well, when you teach the presence piece of it, what do you teach? Like, is there a takeaway of like how your presence is?
Yeah, sit up in your chair.
Listen, we're
step
having
one.
an amazing.
Well, it's all about presence.
It's hard. I slide.
I know, me too.
Presence
I'm
is
slouched
about-
too.
Yeah.
I get an F in the
I'm
academy.
probably slouching too. Anyway, no, presence is about like uniform. How does your uniform look? Like, what does your face look like? Are you in your phone? Is your head down? Things like
Any
that.
body language things?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Shoulder, like,
Yeah.
stand up tall. Like,
And
you should be
awareness,
proud.
obviously, to
awareness.
what's going on.
We have a thing called keep your head on a swivel. Like, you should always be looking
Right.
around wherever you are. Like, that awareness and consciousness of your environment is huge.
I read a book for body language. I love the body language stuff because it's like
Yeah.
you're doing body judo
Yeah.
before you get to the verbal judo.
Exactly.
And I read something like if you're standing in front of someone and you're squared off, you're threatening.
Yes.
If you're at an angle, you're less threatening.
threatening.
So like even now in real estate, I'm very conscious of when I meet people to stand at an angle, you know, and then when you negotiate and someone's giving you a hard time, square off.
We are
much
taught that.
less-
So I'm
We
going
are
to start
taught
calling
that.
people
Yeah.
perps that I'm negotiating with. Like, listen, you're a perp in a situation.
We do stand at an angle actually when we
Is that
are
what they teach?
interviewing. Yes.
Well, so
It's
an
funny.
interview stance, you are at an angle.
Yeah.
Like you're it's more relaxed
Yeah.
because you
Yes.
don't want to seem tense. If when you seem
Right.
tense and very
Is
squared
this
off,
is this
This is
this is
improved.
perfect.
Angle.
This
Okay.
is,
All right.
This is
Does
perfect.
it
Good thing,
depend on the
good
angle?
thing we got that right. Good job,
Yeah.
CV.
angles, you know?
Good job, CV.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knew we had a couple perps coming in.
Yeah, no, it's awesome stuff, and I'm genuinely just so interested in it. So, to a young woman coming up that wants to be in, would you say that law enforcement is male dominated these days, or no? Is it evening out?
It's still male
It's
dominant.
still
I
very
feel.
male
Okay.
dominated.
I feel.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then to a young lady who's coming up that has aspirations to be in law enforcement, what would you guys tell that young lady? Maybe my daughter, if she wants to be in law enforcement.
Definitely
So much to tell,
stay.
right?
No,
Because it's like
it's really hard. Like you have to definitely like stay true to yourself.
Absolutely.
And don't become the job. Like don't because it's very easy to fall into that where you're just thinking about working there and trying to make it into let's say a sergeant or a lieutenant, whatever. You can have that goal, but sometimes people get so wrapped up into it that like if you don't reach that goal in law enforcement, it might frustrate you, you know, and that's very frustrating for some people. And I just say like for a woman, just be strong and work hard, because I feel for me, I've had to work even harder to get respect, to get, just my name in the game, and you have to have good cases and you have to have all these things. And I think it's much more for a woman than it is for a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So being true to yourself,
Yes.
not letting the job consume you. And then you also touched on one thing too, that, because I'm thinking when you said the word cases, right? There's, I would say organization, I don't know if this is sexist. I happen to be a very organized man, but there might be things in the job that you can do much better than typical guys. So find those things and kind of, put
Right.
that work forward to give you a level up.
Like Franny and I are very good at speaking to perps all the time.
Yeah.
We're very, very good at manipulating situations and making it work for our advantage, right? There's been times where we're looking for something and I talk the person into showing me where the contraband is at. Instead of me wrecking the place and looking for it,
Right.
I've talked him or her to like give me what I want.
Wow.
But I do it in a very convincing way. She's the same thing, and that's why her and I have always been together. Like that's why you see us all the time together.
We just
Because
work very well together.
We work very well.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
Do you remember the question?
Yes.
Okay.
And when I was thinking about it, I was just thinking about the women in our office, and obviously being true to yourself is number one. You can't lose yourself in the job, and that's dangerous on many levels.
Yeah.
Even health levels. But it helps you with undercovers. It helps you with just being motivated. You have to be true to yourself, because when you're true to yourself, you know when you're able to work a case and you know when you're not able to work a case.
Right.
And that's huge for the case. Confidence in law enforcement is key, and not only in yourself, but in the knowledge that you have. I've seen that someone might not be the best like cop or the best investigator, but if they have knowledge of something, they're always being used for whatever situation, and that's important. And in terms of confidence, you don't have to be a man, and that's huge.
Yes.
There's a lot of women who are like, I have to act like a man to not
gotcha.
looks wise, but like I have to be aggressive.
Like
I have to be like
macho bravado type of,
yeah.
Like leave that for the men, you know.
You don't
Like,
have to
Depends
be
what
like
type
that.
of men you know, because like very,
Yeah, you're sitting next to two softies over here.
we're teddy bears.
But like you can be confident and still not like, then still be feminine. Like there's a reason why like you need a feminine touch sometimes, and you don't have to be a man to make it in law enforcement.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well
I know
said. Very
Mike
well
and I
said,
are going home
poetically.
and we're going to hit play and put it right in our daughter's ears.
Yeah, just on repeat.
Yeah, so
and
thank
you
you.
guys clearly found each other and supported each other through the process. And looking back, know that confidence was a big thing, but finding each other and working together probably was a big thing that got you through a lot of hard times too, right?
Absolutely. And it's really funny. I've been at the agency for about 5 years, so I would say we've only known each other for 5 years, but we feel like we've known each other forever.
Yeah,
And
I thought you guys like grew up
Yeah, I
together.
thought you
Really?
You
Yeah.
guys are related. Yeah.
yeah,
Great
and
dynamic.
And I feel like we've had this conversation. I feel like from the second like I introduced myself to her that we like clicked after that. And we had a mutual friend, and they were like, "Oh, go see Veronica. She's cool. You guys will be good." Right. So I found her in the office, and I was like, "Oh, you know this person?" And after that, it was like.
Do you remember the first conversation you had?
I remember actually seeing her because they introduce people when someone's new, they introduce
You walk
Is
around
there
the
a term
office.
for a new person?
the
newbies.
No.
No.
The newbie,
The
yeah.
newbies.
No. Some people have like
Rook.
Like
Is that a real thing, Rook?
Well, we do say rookies.
Rookie,
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I use that.
No,
that
we
much.
don't
She said, "What up,
know.
what
The men
up,
say
Rook?"
that a lot.
Yeah, I don't say that. I think now because all of the new people that are coming in,
Say what you say.
the kids.
The kids.
I would be highly offended.
Well,
Yeah.
I
no,
like
we
it.
were
Makes me
just
sound
talking
like
about that coming
the
here. We're
kids,
gonna take the
like-
kids out.
Yeah.
But are they young? They're young too, though.
They're younger than me.
They are.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm 30. I'm gonna turn 33. I think the youngest person is 24, 26.
Oh, so they are okay.
Yeah, they're
kids.
Anybody younger than me is
It's a
a kid too.
mindset, you know?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
they're
mindset.
kids.
You're right.
But
I'm a kid.
No, but they're good. But I remember when she came to my desk and she had you had your black pantsuit on,
Suit,
and you were like, "Hi," like it just very very professional, and I was there just like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was in jeans and a t-shirt, probably going out somewhere, and we just clicked, and I was like, "Nice to meet you," and then you went into the academy, and I didn't see you that much.
No.
I just saw you in the academy, but then after that, we started working together.
Do you remember that same interaction with her?
I remember something similar. I remember walking over to her desk
Yeah.
area.
Do you remember
and
your first
introducing.
impressions when you saw her? Were you like, "Ooh, she's official. She's got jeans on in the workplace"?
It wasn't like that. It was
No.
more like,
Casual.
"Oh, this girl." Like I was told this girl's gonna be cool. Hopefully, I can make a friend here, and then we
Gotcha.
can,
Yeah.
So
you
you
know,
laying on the
learn from
charm.
her and see what's going on. Yeah. So
Yeah, and
It
then
was-
she came into the unit, into
Yeah.
my unit, and we just started working together.
Aw.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a nice meeting story. And do you remember how we met?
No, I don't. I really don't.
He remembers.
Next topic.
I don't
You
think
were
I do.
floating across the room. No,
I was floating across the
No, we
room.
were young, so I don't know. It was probably like
Yeah.
through my brother.
Yeah, it was
or
probably like
or
something
playing
sports
basketball or
related.
something.
Yeah, I was probably
Yeah.
beating
I remember
him
looking
or
at this
something.
kid. I was like, he's pretty good. I don't like him.
I was probably, I don't know, scoring a lot on him. So leading into the dynamic, though, right,
Yes.
of you two, you guys host a very successful podcast, and it's called
Yeah.
The Vegan and the Beast,
The
obviously. So how did that really come to life in terms of like, okay, let's start documenting the journey together, and we have something good here. Let's create a podcast. Like, how did that work?
No, it was really funny. It was.
I love the name
You know-
too. I just
Right?
want to
Yeah,
say
it
that.
is
Yeah, I
awesome.
love
We
the name. It's
were-
very catchy.
We got to do like Mike and the Beast.
Mike
and the Beast.
well, I'm the beast. So. Mike and himself.
So
Well, it
we finished, I think, working a really early morning, and then
You were delusional.
we were delusional.
maybe.
We were, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We hadn't slept, and I think something happened in the office.
No, I remember the exact something happened personal with my mom, and then we were
Right? Yes.
and then we were just reliving all the craziness that happens in our lives. And then the job on top of that and all the craziness in the job. And Veronica was like, we should have a podcast and just say all these things. And I was like, from my health coaching, a lot of people would tell me to do like a YouTube or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that might be a good idea because I've been hearing that a lot. And then she was like, let's just do it and say like crazy stories. So we make it a thing to say something crazy in like every
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
But then finding the name of it, I don't even know like how we came up with it. I was like, oh, maybe we should say vegan.
But
and
you
then-
said the vegan, and then I said, and the beast.
And
And
then
something
it-
like that. Like, it just clicked
And it
right
just
there.
works
clicked.
too,
It
right?
just clicked.
Like, it
Clicked.
works. It
Yeah,
definitely
it's
works.
perfect.
Like
It's a
it
great
really
name.
is perfect for you guys. Like
Yeah.
no, I'm serious because even your personalities like speak
Yeah.
to the name, and it's
Yeah.
great.
And it definitely
Really good.
shows that you guys are similar, but you have different opinions on things. So
That's
definitely
very
the
true.
title gives you that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like you-
That's so funny because
Yeah.
we're very similar but very different.
different.
It's so
didn't-
funny.
Yeah, just like,
Just like
I didn't
us.
even put it together, but a beast is usually like a piece of meat, right? Like, isn't a beast like a
Like roast-
large
roast
animal
beef?
or something? So like you have the
a
vegan
beast is
and the
like a
beast.
big animal.
That just hit you?
Yeah, that just hit me though.
But like,
a big animal or
I
like
was
a
thi-
beast like eating everything. That's what it,
Yeah,
but
like,
it like
me.
I
works
don't know.
so well.
It works in so many different ways.
yeah.
Exactly.
It really does.
And
All
I
right,
think
so
initially
like
we
it.
wanted to do
Look at Mike
something
laughing.
where it was just food.
Mike said, "Wait, you just figured that out now?"
Well,
Yeah, sorry, I'm late. I'm late to the
No,
party.
no, no.
That's all right.
It's like an aha moment for me.
no, but we were initially, I was kind of thinking of doing something more food related because she was vegan and I just love to eat everything. So I was like, oh, we should do something like that. And then it just kind of morphed into what it is now, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just
Yeah.
a podcast and we just talk about, it's pretty much girl chat, you know.
Yeah.
just-
I
For the
listen
most
too, though,
part.
so men can
Yeah.
join in.
I
Thank
feel like
you.
it's
Yeah,
almost.
thank you.
Don't you feel like it's almost therapy? Like
Yeah.
free
Yes.
therapy?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because you can just
Yes.
talk.
I wasn't asking you.
Yeah, it is. It's very much like therapy for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Well,
you
once
leave
you
and
get
you're like,
over once you get over the initial like, okay, I have a microphone, there might be a camera, and you learn to just have a regular conversation.
Yes.
It becomes something different.
That's
Yes.
huge
Right?
because when you're thinking about like the time or like making sure you have enough content to speak about,
Yes.
Yeah.
once you forget about all that, those are like our best episodes.
I was telling you off camera, and people don't know this, but it's pretty funny. The first couple episodes that we didn't put out, I came with like a book, and I was like reading the book, and then Mike was like, "This is not natural." So then
Right.
like it was, you know what I mean? It was too much, and then we found a nice balance between the two of us.
Well, I was gonna say you're the one who worries about all the things we need to get done, and then I just come and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh
See,
my,
he does that
good
thing.
balance.
Yeah. Also, speak on what you said because it's pretty ironic on the No Snooze podcast. I think it's pretty funny.
So it's I was saying this off cam that I love that whole idea, the No Snooze podcast, and it's ironic that we're on it right now because I snooze. I hit the snooze button.
Hit the
all
snooze.
the time.
but not in your life. You do it only on the phone.
On the phone.
See,
Yes.
and that's okay. But I
Yes.
thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first things she came. She's like, "Wow, we're going on the No Snooze podcast, and I snooze every day of the week."
Yes, I do. I have to.
How many
I have, like,
times?
it's so bad.
It's all right.
I have one
Tell
for
us.
I have
He's gonna
an
jump out of
alarm
his
for
chair.
6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:30.
Oh, this is giving me anxiety.
Is it-
And you snooze each one, so
is
it
it-
adds. Like,
Wait,
It's
but do
like
you know the
20
science
snoozes.
behind that though at all, or no?
Before you get into that, I have a quick question.
Seriously, go ahead.
Quick question before you get into the science.
Okay.
Do you think it's because you like knowing you have like 15 more minutes and then you have 15 more minutes? Or is it because you can't get up?
I don't know if it's can or want.
You can't, either one. Like, I know people who set alarms like in the middle of the night so that they can hit snooze and go back to bed and know they have another like 4 hours.
Yeah, my college roommate actually did that.
Really?
Yeah, people do that.
But the science behind it, it's not my science. I
Right.
obviously read it.
Right.
But it makes sense because you can never, I don't want to get into specifics, but you can never get into your deepest sleep in only 15 minutes because an actual sleep cycle is much longer than that. So you're actually interrupting your brain, and it's called REM sleep, which is like your
Yes.
deepest sleep.
Yes.
So you actually never get there. So even though you feel that it's like, you know, oh yeah, I'm a little bit more rested, you're actually doing something not natural to your brain.
Right.
So that doesn't change anything for you. You're like, snooze tomorrow.
She's like, thanks for the info. It doesn't matter.
It's just I just can.
Is it a mental thing?
I've never been a morning person.
Got you.
I've never in my life. I've always had an issue. I've always had an issue
Oh,
with
crushing
just
cookies?
getting up.
Come on,
With
man.
getting up in general. Like since I was a kid.
Yep.
My mom always had the hardest time getting me ready to go to school and getting me to the bus stop.
Was she loud in the morning?
My wife says the same thing though. It's
The
interesting.
worst.
Yeah.
And I'm like that now, even as an adult. Like my boyfriend, he wakes me up like, you have to get up, and it's just like so annoying.
Yeah, without getting into details about your boyfriend, you told us some stuff off camera, and we have to meet him.
Yes.
So
yes.
shout out to him for sure.
Yes, for
Yes.
sure. You guys have to interview him.
That's funny. For me, it's a little different because
Yeah, are you a morning person as like a health coach and living the wellness?
well, I am a morning person. I come into the office and scream good morning to everybody.
I love that.
We wouldn't be
She
friends in the
really does.
office.
I love that.
She will scream good morning, and I will come in
Everyone's
and
like,
slam
F
the
you.
door.
Slam the door.
I slam the door.
Wait,
I'm
walk
like,
me through like how you do you walk in the door and literally scream?
I
Yeah.
open the door and say good morning
No,
She does.
so that everyone can hear me.
That's
we
amazing.
would not
Yes.
be friends.
But are you genuinely happy in the morning?
She is.
So I
So I
am,
love that.
but
I love that.
it wasn't always
There's a but.
like
There's a
that, and
but.
it kind of rolls into why I became a health coach.
Mm-hmm.
When I was sick, I couldn't get out of bed in the morning at all, and it was very, very hard to start my day. So now that I'm like healed and like complete, it's like a complete 180. I don't know if I don't take it for granted anymore that I can get out of bed, and now I'm gonna tell everybody that I'm here.
What? Thank you for sharing that. Do you speak about that publicly?
Yes, yeah, it was in our first episode.
Sick. With?
I was diagnosed with, it's called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It's an autoimmune condition of the thyroid.
Hashimoto.
Hashimoto's.
I always
Sounds
say
like a
it's
sushi place.
Oh my! I always say that.
He always
It sounds like a
says
sushi
I think I've been to a place called Hashimoto's.
That was a doctor who
Tell him Mike sent
created
you. When
it.
you go to sushi place.
I've always said that.
Whatever people say, the first thing that pops in my head is so off of what it's supposed to be.
No,
Do you know?
me too. My
Yeah.
brain is
It's
like,
just like a
All
picture
right. So
flashes.
before we,
What?
sorry, we all, I know,
Sorry.
we're all very similar and we all tangent. But this
Yes.
so speak on Hashimoto and how you got over that. Like that's an incredible thing in itself.
Yeah, well,
And how the morning, I guess, changed for you.
yeah, it was bad in the beginning, and I have a love-hate relationship with doctors. Some of them are really, really good and really want to heal people, and some of them are really just after the money. And unfortunately, my first experience, the guy was just after the money. And I'm a research person. I like to read, and I love the science behind everything. And I was reading so much about autoimmune conditions and Hashimoto's, and I was reading about like how food has a huge impact in the body and how it literally feeds the cells of your body and how that translates to how you feel and what diseases you're diagnosed with and things like that. So I asked the doctor, I said, oh, I heard like if you go gluten-free, it's really good. It helps the thyroid and things like that. And he said, no, none of that. Don't listen to any of that. Just take the medication. And then I was 25 at the time, so young to have this diagnosis. He said, I'll just keep increasing your medications until I have to take your thyroid out. And I said,
Wow.
no, you're not.
Wow.
No, you're not. And at first, of course, I was a mess, but then I was like, that can't be right. Like, that can't be right. I'm only 25 years old. Like, that can't be right.
That was your aha moment.
You said Hashimoto.
Yeah, actually, that's right.
Hashimoto. I like that.
That's amazing. That's good
right.
stuff.
Yeah. So I'm very spiritual. So like I was living in the Bronx at the time. And the doctor was in Brooklyn, and it was a 2-hour train ride. The whole time I'm like crying and praying and stuff. And I just kept getting like the inkling of like, go back to the basics. Go back to the basics in terms of
like a little voice in your head or something.
Yeah, I like the spirit, Holy Spirit, and everything like that.
Was it Veronica being like, go back to the basics?
It might have been. I didn't know her at the time.
Wow.
It was actually right before I went to my current, and there's so many things that go into that, but I probably wouldn't be employed where I'm employed now if I didn't change a lot of things in my life. So that's why I saw a health coach, because I saw doctors weren't helping me, and she changed my life so much that I wanted to do that for someone else, and because it was that profound of an experience. And even just having enough energy to get out of bed, that changed my life. So it had a lot to do with the food and like mindset things. I got out of a really bad relationship, all of it. Everything that has to do with life. We call it the circle of life in health coaching. It's not just about food. There's other things in life called primary foods that affect how you treat your body. So relationships, finances, career, spirituality, physical fitness, like all those things also have an effect on your wellness. So
wow.
Yeah.
She said circle of life, and all I started hearing was Lion King.
Lion King. Oh my God.
It's so hard to get through a day in this brain. I'm telling you.
Yes.
No, this is key stuff. I'm like,
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm super intrigued.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yes,
now we just got to get your friend over there to stop in the snooze.
But also, you know what I love too?
But I love sleep too. Sometimes I can only sleep 3 hours because of the job. Like I work so much, it's hard to get out of bed.
I don't like sleep, but I also need it. I don't enjoy sleeping.
See, I love sleep too.
I don't enjoy it.
I do.
I feel like I'm missing out on stuff.
Wow. Oh man,
does that make sense?
That could tie in with your caffeine problem.
I got a lot of problems, huh?
Having a moment, but I wanted to say, so technology these days, it obviously you can use it to your benefit, but it can also kill a lot of people because anybody thinks that they can become, and you can, an experienced health coach, a physical therapist, a trainer, or this or that. I just love hearing stories of people who actually went through something, had an aha moment in their life, experienced it, and now is applying what they went through into somebody else in terms of service to them.
That's huge.
So kudos to you because you are definitely the real deal when it comes to this stuff.
Thank you. I've experienced that even in my own, like I actually went to school. I had to go to school for a year to be a health coach. It's not just like, I signed a piece of paper and I'm a health coach. I do see a lot of like fitness people right now where, they sign up to be part of like an MLM or something, and now all of a sudden they're a health coach. And that makes me angry because I was like, I legit went through things like you said, and I studied and all these, and
I just think I think you can do it, but the appreciation for the service that you're going to provide, it can't be on the same level if you didn't experience it yourself.
I agree.
No, really good stuff. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's I'm still blown away by the name of the disease. There's so many names of diseases.
We call it Hashis.
But it's
Hashimoto.
I know I'm making light of it. I'm making light of it, but at the same time, there's so many things out there that I have no idea about that people are dealing with every day.
Yeah.
Well,
that it's like you kind of feel bad that you don't talk to people more and see what's going on, because you see someone, you make an assumption. You're like, oh, this person's this or this person's that.
That's
you have no idea.
Well, they call a lot of autoimmune conditions invisible illnesses because at the time I had Hashimoto's, but on the outside I look fine.
Did you know? Like you knew something was.
I knew something was off,
but you had no idea what.
Yeah.
Like you've never heard of that disease, right?
No,
I never heard
not
about
before
it.
that. I didn't even know what a thyroid was until I went to the doctor.
The only reason I know is because like grandparents had issues with it, but I'm like,
and that's also because she was 25.
That too,
right? So that's nuts.
Yeah.
That usually
so that's the thing about the thyroid. Like you need a thyroid hormone for every function of your body.
Where break down what a thyroid, where it is?
Yeah. So it's a butterfly gland right in front of your vocal cords. It's in your throat.
Butterfly gland right in front of your vocal cords.
It literally looks like a butterfly. An organ?
Okay.
What's an organ? No, we get, wow.
I'm the type where if I don't know a topic, I'm not like, I got to know something about it. It's either I dive deep into it or I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's something, honestly, why would you want to know about that? Like, unless you're...
basic health.
Well, and that's cool, but until you're diagnosed with
Yeah.
that, then you obviously become
You're
an
forced to
expert
learn,
on it, or you listen to the advice that's given by the
Yeah.
crappy doctor.
And
and-
There's a
thyroids
lot of people
affect
like that.
everything, right?
Yeah, especially
energy,
for women.
all that stuff.
Your hormones.
It's a hormone. Like it produces hormones. So hormones obviously are huge game changers for women. You
Men
guys,
too, right? Do men have
yes,
hormones?
but we are like driven on hormones.
Okay.
So it can change your mood like that.
They
I'm sure
should
you've
make-
experienced
oh
that.
my God.
I might be a woman then.
Have you seen? Yeah, he's definitely. Have you seen the movie, the anime movie we were talking about before?
I'm not a movie guy.
Where I know you haven't seen it, but it's like the inside of your body and like anger. They
Yes.
should do that, but like an adult version with women. It'd be awesome.
Okay.
Well, have you seen that movie? What movie is it?
And
It's
this
Pixar.
is the No Snooze podcast.
What is it?
Inside Out.
Inside
that's
Out.
right.
Inside Out?
And I only know that because
doesn't watch movies.
I'm not a
recently
movie guy.
my boss sent me the angry one in an email. And you guess which one I sent him back?
The happy one.
The happy one, and
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like jumping.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Yes.
And he was like, okay.
Wow. So thank you for sharing all that stuff. In terms of the in the lifestyle, I want to switch over to Veronica. How did you, I guess, connect your passion for fashion? I love that. That is
Yeah,
like,
that's
Passion
how's
for-
that
that
is
like,
just so
That's
cool.
good.
Your passion for fashion
and lashing.
and lashing. Wow.
Oh, that was good.
And
I
then
wanted to be a rapper before I became an agent.
I like that.
and then turned into belleza.
Yes.
Right?
you got
Great
that.
job.
Yes.
Great job.
So talk to us. Like,
on a
where
show
did that
over
start?
here.
Were you like really young, like getting dressed up and liking that stuff?
Yeah,
or what?
I mean, I've always been into fashion, like since I was young. I had to always. My mom had this thing where she would always say, "You represent me, so you better not look like crap when you go outside."
That's a good one.
I love that though.
So that's like a Latino thing, though, right? Like because she would.
Italians too.
She'd be like, you have to look nice. It doesn't matter where you're going, you have to look presentable, right? So I grew up with that. And so, but again, I grew up poor and I didn't have much. So I'd have to come up with like my own style, my own things. Like I didn't have money for like, expensive clothing. So I would have to come up with my own things. And that's where I've always like had a passion for it, for fashion in general. And then, but somehow in life, I just didn't go the artsy way, and I'm where I'm at now. And I reached to my point in life where at work I wasn't being challenged enough. And maybe people who are hearing this are probably like, well, my coworkers would be like,
Don't worry, no one listens to this.
Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
That's a lie.
I'm just not being
No, but I don't think you're
challenged.
saying it in a bad way. I think
No,
you're
it's fine.
saying that you're not.
There's sensitive people in this world.
Your full potential wasn't exposed through that line of work, which is also goes back to the advice that you were giving earlier. So I
Right.
love this on the passion. Keep going.
I felt like at work I had already done everything and I needed something more, like a challenge. I definitely felt like I needed to work with my hands because I've always, my hands are also like I speak with my hands, and I've always had just an artsy side of myself. So I at the time was getting my own lashes done by this Korean lady, and we became really good friends. And she doesn't speak any English, but we would somehow communicate. And I was like, you know what? I would really like to learn how to lash, just for the fun of it, just for like a hobby. And she was like, all right, and we met up and I started working with her, and she's actually like really great at lashing. And I then started doing it. And what I like about lashing is that I don't have to think I have to be very focused because you're lashing literally every single eyelash.
Yeah, as you're explaining it, I'm almost intrigued. Like, cause how many eyelashes that you have?
You have such fire lashes too. I never noticed.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Guys always do.
They do.
Always, oh my god! I always get confused.
But you too, Mike. You too. CV, you too. No, but
You guys as well, obviously.
the extreme level of focus. And okay, when you think of eyelashes, like you don't think about any of the stuff you're talking about. But
Right.
you have to be so passionate, I guess, for something like this, and it gets so specific What are you looking at?
I'm trying to count them. Go ahead.
It gets so specific, and the attention to detail has to be one of the biggest things in there. So
yes, you have to be very accurate with your hands and very still. So to me, it's almost like therapy, where I'm just lashing every single eyelash, and I'm really focused, and I'm not thinking about anything. I can't, and it involves a lot of my energy too. Like a lot of my energy goes into, it's an art. It really is. It comes down to being an art. And I picked it up, and I picked it up fast, actually. And my teacher, she was like, "You're really good. You just have to, just work on more people." And it, to me, I started I'm just gonna do it as a hobby and like just do something new, right? Something totally like different. And I end up being really good at it. And I just was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just start doing my friends and family and just practice and just for fun. And then my boyfriend was like, well, you can make money off of this. And there you go.
I like your boyfriend.
Yeah, it's a good guy.
He was very supportive about it from the beginning. And he's like, just do it because it'll make you happy if you want to do something different. And that it is a very challenging, every eye is like a new canvas for me. So I have to like I have this obsession of making it as perfect as possible, which is what keeps me going, keeps me motivated, and it ends up turning into a business. And like now I have clients, and I have, then I'm like, okay, you know what, I can do even more. I'm gonna go to school now for getting my license to do other things like brows. I have an obsession with brows too, like people's eyebrows. Like, I mean, that's
sorry.
just,
I think we're slacking in that.
We got some bushy ones over here to work on.
I don't know.
Bushy is in right now.
Bushy is in right now. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. But then it's just like I got crazier and crazier with it, but it's because I really got into it. And I really found a passion for it. And now, it's just, now it's, people know me now for that, like in my area. So.
There's stories like that make me think there's some type of destiny out there, because the fact that you made best friends with a woman who didn't speak English, Korean, whatever, and you became best friends and like fell into that, it's like, what are the chances?
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
There are no coincidences, right?
Yeah, I kept going to her for like a year, and then I was like, you know what? I want to do something different. I'm not being challenged. Like I have to. My brain is it's just always on the go. So if I'm not challenged enough in an area, I have to go somewhere else and find something. And that's always been me when just growing up,
And now, do you feel that same? And the reason why, again, selfishly, did you find like that little voice in your head that kind of kept saying like, you should do this, you should try this?
It was like not even a voice, it was like singing.
Really?
Like, you need to do this.
And the reason why I bring this up is because
like that.
Like the
just
Dr.
like
Pepper
that.
commercials.
Yeah, just like that.
I wish I really could articulate it, but I really can't. But in episode 1 for us, there was a point that Mike had asked me the question, like, what are you going to stop snoozing on in your life? And it said that little voice in my head. And that's what I said. That was my answer. And a lot of people, which is why I started, the idea of the podcast with Mike and CV. There's a lot of people that then laughed at that answer. Right. And I love highlighting stories because I don't know how to articulate that voice in my head, right? But there's something that you're able to find. And for me, I was able to find the voice through practicing gratitude in the morning. It was for over a year, I needed to do something different. So the first thing I do when I wake up, it's just a simple gratitude prayer. And it's not, I don't have a crazy relationship with whatever's up top, but I know there's a higher power. Yes. And I don't like to, get specific on it because there's so many different views out there. But it changed for me. So I wasn't able to identify that voice in my head until I consistently did that little practice of gratitude that then brought it out. So I love just hearing stories of people who have found the same thing with that voice in their head.
That voice is real. I remember that episode and I was like, I know that voice. Yeah.
The voice comes to me when I'm in the shower all the time.
And it's possible.
Oh my God.
It's possible.
Or if I'm working out. So like when I'm walking,
that's
I have my
science, by
best
the way,
ideas. You'll be in the shower and you're like, it's a good idea.
Everything,
do that.
yeah. Any idea that I've ever had has been in the shower for sure.
My other rule, I don't know
might be water.
It could be water.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Water's life.
It is.
One of my other rules is that if I have an idea and I don't act upon it, if I snooze on the idea, but in a year it still sounds like a good idea, then you have to do it.
Yeah,
That's
a
true.
really good.
Because there's a lot. We
That's
all have
true.
lots of ideas, and we can do this. We can do that.
and
we can do
it's
that.
like, how do you filter them out?
Then when it hangs around, then you're like, I got to try it.
And
That's important. That's
you know what
really
else I
good.
did too, and I know it's simple, and I talk about this to certain people, but people who are like, well, how do I find it? How do I find it? And my response is, you ask for
voice.
guidance.
Yeah.
Where do you
know,
find
like-
the voice, you're saying?
Yeah, like where do you find that if it's not there? And I think it's a combination of doing things that you love to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, don't
Yes.
look for too much. Don't look at how to make money. Literally
Right.
look for
That's
things that you like to do. Go
That's
do
key.
them. When you're doing things that you like to do, this is not science, but it's just Dave science. When I do things that I like
Science.
to do, I become very creative, right? And new
Right.
thoughts and like new ideas start to flow,
Yeah.
right?
There's
I
like
don't know.
it's called like manifesting or attracting. When you're,
Right.
we spoke about this on our podcast too. When you're doing things and engulfing yourself in things that you enjoy, one, you're emitting like positive energy because you're enjoying it, and like those things come back to you. That happened recently with her lash business, and I actually, to piggyback on your idea, if something comes in your head for years, obviously you should be doing it. For like 10 years, I said I was going to be a Zumba instructor. And that never left me because I always used to dance, and I love dancing. But I let it go for a very long time. But that always was in my head. Like, I want to do this. I want to do this for people. And then obviously pair that with health coaching. Excuse me. And I finally did that this year in January.
I'm not a stalker, but
Zumba
I
gets
watched
rowdy.
that whole thing transpire.
I think a lot of people watched that. You watched your video.
Yeah, because no. You. I remember you speaking about it, and you said you were going to do it, and you did it. You kind of documented it here and there, and just on like Instagram stories
Yeah.
and regular stuff. But seeing the progression of it is part of the reason why I'm like, yo, listen, Mike, check these guys out. CV, check them out. We got to get them on the podcast because they don't snooze on their life. They say that they're going to do something, and they go and do it. Now, let me ask you this though. Because here's a perfect example, and same thing that happened to us, and I like speaking on that when you have tangible evidence of it. A lot of people aren't happy in their careers, right?
agreed.
But you have to, but you have to stay in it because obviously you need to pay the bills. So I'm a firm believer in starting to chase the passion with no expectation of money coming in. When you do that consistently over and over and over again, the passion can then become a side hustle.
Yeah.
Right. And a side hustle is different from a full blown business in my brain because you know that you're not fully all in yet because you can't be at that point because you're pulled in so many different directions. Do that. You gain the knowledge. You continue to research, practice, whatever it is. Then a switch happens. And then it's like people seek you out for your little side hustle.
Yes.
At that point, that is when you can turn it into a full blown business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does that
100%.
you agree with that?
That's literally what happened to
100%.
me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to me. And like, I had to then, now I find myself, I have to schedule. Now I have a different schedule, right? Now I'm very busy as opposed to before the lash business. Now I was just going home, working out. That gets boring. Like to me, I don't like being in the same place. And I always do this like every 5 years, I will analyze my 5 years that have just passed, and if I've stayed the same, that bothers me a lot,
I like
and
that.
I have to move
I like that.
into something else. And that's what happened. Is like I cannot be in the same like position and feel this way because then I obsess about it. I have an obsessive like personality with everything. So I'll obsess about it. And
Us too.
and then I won't be happy. I won't be happy until I change something. And that's what I did. And I said, I have to find something that's going to make me happy. And then
That you literally are speaking to like what I've been thinking about a lot lately. I think happiness boils down to feeling like you're progressing in life.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is, family, profession, whatever your top goal is. If you're doing that, most of the time you're happy.
Right.
Which
That's
is
true.
kind of like a simple way to look at it, obviously.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was going to say was the question I always ask people when they say, how do you find your passion? I always say, if money was no object, what would you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if they're like, I'd walk dogs, be like, well, start walking dogs.
Yeah.
And then you charge people.
That's true.
Yep.
You know, or
But
whatever it is.
It's tough because you have to be willing to put the work in when you don't want to do it. right?
Yes.
Like when you go,
But if you're passionate,
No,
you
no, no.
do it for no money. You do it.
yes, but it has to be, because there's a fine line there. You need to be able to turn off, wow, I just did a 14-hour shift at a job I don't like. I'm tired. So
Yeah, it
a
depends.
lot, you know what I mean? A lot of
gotta get
people
into a
can
job
go ahead
that-
and get their rest, but then there's the people who really, I believe, excel in life when you take that extra hour, you push yourself to do something that you want to do. Because then the first
Exactly.
5-10 minutes you're in it, yeah, you're a little tired, but now your passion kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to have a work ethic that allows you to say, you know what, yeah, I don't really want to do this right now, but I love to do it, so I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So when
Yes.
I decided to get my real estate license, I was working a job that was like a transitional job. It was I was a headhunter, so I would find creative
Headhunter?
people.
What is that?
Headhunter. I was tough. I would find creative people for creative jobs,
Yeah.
and I would just connect them. And I knew it was kind of a stepping stone to get to something else. So what I did was I made my real estate classes from 6 to 10 during the week. Because I said, if I stick with this, it really means I'm passionate about it, and I'm going to stick with it. So it was like a personal test right off the bat. So I like set myself up to see how much I enjoyed it without, without depending on myself thinking about it. I actually physically put myself in a position where I was tired. And I was like, if I stick with it and I enjoy it, that means I really like it, because this sucks.
That's
working
exactly
a full
what
day.
I'm doing now.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
exactly.
literally what I'm doing now. What
Yeah.
you just said, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
I'll go to work, and then from 6 to 9:30, I have school.
Because if you're passionate enough about it, enjoy it
You'll do
enough,
it.
it's going to pull through. So.
Yeah.
And I've experienced
Right?
that too. I did my year of health coaching school while I was in the academy.
Yep.
So I was academy all day than that.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
find a way if you enjoy it enough.
Absolutely.
It's a good
and,
test.
and I'm sure you guys can relate obviously to the podcast too, because like the podcast
Yes.
takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of work behind
Yes.
the scenes that people don't really know about.
Absolutely.
For us, especially now being new dads, right, it adds another
course.
layer to us.
Yeah.
For me, I don't, I would speak for them, but obviously they can speak up too. I can't stop this because I'll always find time for it. Right. And that's when you know that like an idea is really worth it. And not that we're, this top 10 podcast yet, but
You will be.
if we're consistent
Yes.
and we continue to put the work in, even when we don't want to put the work in, you already know what the results are going to be.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
No, that's
Well said.
That's a good piece there.
Ditto. I like when he does all the long things.
Ditto.
I'm just like, ditto.
We wanted to take a quick second to let you guys know that we've partnered with our good friends over at Orgain.com. We're happy to offer our listeners 30% off by entering the code NoSnooze30. Again, that's NoSnooze30 for 30% off your first order. If you're on the market for a new protein powder, nutritional shake, protein bar, or Mike's favorite, collagen peptides, Orgain is your one-stop shop. As all of you know, my Crohn's disease is currently in remission, and the only protein I use is from Orgain. My personal favorites are the chocolate peanut butter and the vanilla bean. With the code, you can try a 2-pound tub for under $20. Talk about not snoozing. Go get yours today. Now, back to the epi.
So I have a fun little section here. It's brand new. Just kind of came up.
What are we
with
going to call it?
Yes, I don't know. It's a rapid fire question thing. Are you guys
Okay.
down to
I just like rapid fire.
Yeah.
Oh, rapid fire?
Yeah.
Rapid
Okay.
fire.
Yeah, into
Rapid
your world
fuego.
that means something.
Well,
else.
yeah,
Well,
that's-
Rapid fire.
yeah, like 10-4
Maybe
rapid
that's what I
fire.
like.
Maybe that's why.
Rapid fire.
Vegan 10-4 rapid fire. What makes you laugh no matter what?
What makes me laugh?
Rapid.
Yeah,
Oh, is
I'm
this for
bad with
everyone?
that.
I was about
thought
to answer. Go ahead.
corny jokes.
Oh, no wonder you've been laughing
What about
this
you?
whole time. Got
My
it.
boyfriend for sure. Cause
Aw.
What about you?
Any movie I've seen before that makes me giggle.
Really?
I love giggling at movies.
This
Love dialogue.
this is for women. It will be a purse. For men.
You got
How
to
about
answer,
you?
dude.
Well, I had too. I
Oh, you thought
Yeah,
you
you
could
thought
you
about
made
it.
a
totally
lot?
think about
Answer.
it.
You give us your thought about it.
What makes me laugh no matter what? Mike.
Thank you.
okay.
Did you know that you were the answer?
I
Must
knew-
have purse item.
Lip gloss.
My gun.
Wallet. Whoa.
Phone.
Gun? She said my gun. That's fire. I like that.
Well,
was
yeah,
ju-
but I wasn't gonna say that.
I was just about to respond to my phone, but you just said my
yeah,
gun.
like for men. What?
oh,
Like,
other than a phone?
yeah, no, like anything. A must have. I guess a must have item for you is what?
Coffee.
Watch.
All right.
What's something you're terrible at? I'm so good at everything.
No.
No, that was gonna be my answer. No, I'm just kidding.
Terrible.
This is rapid.
There has to
what
be
do you,
something.
What do you suck at?
I love how she's thinking long about this.
I don't know.
Eating meat.
What's something you're bad at? For me, I'm terrible at golf.
Yeah, you are. Am I supposed?
Go ahead. We'll go.
I'm
around.
terrible at giving directions.
Like,
I feel like I'm.
Okay.
What kind of directions?
Not that I'm good at everything.
No, I got you.
I'm
Like-
terrible at giving directions. Well,
Like driving directions?
yeah, if I know, so if you, like if I know, if I go to a certain place, let's say, like for example, Martha's, right? And I'm telling you, we're driving, and I'm in the car with you, and you're like, okay, just tell me where to go. I'm not good at that. Like, and I confuse my left and my rights, but that's because like
I don't know if it's
my brain is just not.
Is this a cultural thing? Because we go to Puerto Rico all the time, right? My wife is Puerto Rican.
Yes,
And it's very funny though. You ask a Puerto Rican for directions, they're like,
I'm not.
Yeah, go
This is
to
his
the tree,
opinion.
make a left. Like, what?
I'm good at directions.
That is for sure. I
Right?
think it's a cultural
So
thing.
like if you ask like any of our family members too, it always comes up. So like I don't know, it's just
I'm
it's pretty
terrible
funny.
at that, and like that's caused a couple of fights between my boyfriend and I because I'm like just make a right. I mean a left. I mean like I just I don't know.
That's
I
a
can't
good
give
one.
directions.
I like that.
Yeah.
What are you terrible at?
Grocery shopping.
Okay. What are you terrible at?
Timing.
Really? You literally, and that's ironic
Wait,
because
wait.
you pulled in the parking lot and it was like 9:50.
Which is why I was
kind of
like so
timing?
excited
Wow.
about it.
Like being on time?
Like so if
Not
I'm
so much-
if I need help and I call your agency, are you going to be late to
no,
my?
no.
Yeah, that's scary.
I plan too many things and think I have enough time to do all of
Gotcha.
them.
Okay, that's
Gotcha.
good
and
answer.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm terrible.
It's bad.
When are you most inspired?
When I'm doing something I love.
When I'm in the shower.
When I'm having a nice meal and some liqueur of some sort.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Mike's going to love this one. What's your favorite dessert?
Oh.
You want to know my favorite? I'm vegan, so there's no dairy or anything.
There's no desserts?
No, there
I
is,
was like,
but it would
F
be
that.
like
I'm
a
not
vegan
vegan.
dessert.
Vegan ice
Leaves.
cream.
No.
That was from CV, by the way.
My favorite dessert, I have like this concoction that we call it a concoction in the house. But it's like banana ice cream
Ooh.
and like wild blueberries.
You make it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You
You
got to bring
just
that
freeze
next
the
time.
bananas and blend them.
Sounds
Wow,
incredible.
we got to try that.
Like what?
It sounds incredible.
It does.
I actually had
Favorite dessert?
a strawberry shortcake. I had some
Ooh.
yesterday. Oh,
You
so
I like
good.
it.
Like
Your
that.
favorite
So many.
dessert?
Probably Italian cookies.
The biscotti gotti,
Biscotti.
right? For me, is a tie between
Yeah, which is
brownies and cheesecake, and then Oreos.
And then Oreos.
Yeah.
My
give it-
previous vegan life, my favorite cookie is I don't even know what it's called, but it's the almond cookie.
Oh, the almond biscotti cookies, or is it a different one?
A
The
biscotti,
circular
that's
ones.
a
It's not a
biscotti.
biscotti.
Oh.
It's not a
The amaretto
we say
ones?
biscotti, but it's
But yeah, we're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
She's right. Yeah, we saying it the
I'm
American way.
Italian and like
Biscotti.
little things.
You have Italian?
Yeah, I have
But
Italian.
biscotti
Nice.
doesn't rhyme with gotti, so
Yeah.
biscotti gotti.
Biscotti
Got
gotti.
it. I-
Biscotti
Yeah.
gotti.
Ricotta also. I hate when
Yeah.
people
Ricotta.
say
How about
ricotta.
mozzarella? You say
I get-
mozzarella or mozzarella?
Mozzarella.
Can I have turkey? Can I have a sandwich with turkey and mozzarella? Sometimes they look at me like, and not that I'm like this heavy Italian, but just growing up, like
That's how
how
everyone-
Yeah.
it was always told to me. Same thing with ricotta, not
Ricotta.
ricotta.
I get
I hate when
self-conscious.
they say ricotta.
Yeah.
I get self-conscious about that type of stuff
Yes.
because part of me thinks that people are judging
Yeah,
me
you're trying
for
to do
not
too
being
much.
too Italian.
Yes.
And then some people are judging me for being too Italian. So I
Yeah.
kind of like
Oh.
Yeah.
go middle of the road. I'll be like,
never
oh, some of
win.
that.
No, but
That's
for
okay.
me,
Some of
for me,
this.
it's literally that. Like I thought it
Yeah.
was mozzarella. That's how you said it because that's just
How
how
you
it
grew
was.
up.
Yeah, told to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
So,
you meet like an off-the-boat
wait,
Italian
what was
person.
yours?
You're like,
What?
Your favorite dessert is the bananas and the blueberry.
Yeah.
Banana ice cream.
Sorry, I forgot.
hungry, huh?
If you were an animal, what would you be?
A jaguar.
A beast.
A panther.
Ooh, a panther. I would be probably like
A fish?
No, I'd be like a dove. Something like that.
Oh, that's cute.
I would be a lion. Like if I could choose, I would want to be a lion.
I'd be a dove, just kind of floating around.
Oh, that's very angelic.
Listen,
I would be a dove.
think
I love like all the animals we've had.
when you see doves, right?
Yeah.
At amazing events,
Yeah.
or you get to see a lot
All
of
the
cool
beautiful
stuff.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, when he says things at first, it sounds ironic, and then when he explains it, it's like,
Makes sense.
that
You'd be
guy-
at
I like
weddings
that.
and
I like
guy's
that.
pretty good.
engagements and stuff.
I like
I'll be
that.
just like, who's that? I can engage to.
See, I definitely wasn't planning on answering this one because I don't know. But TV show you've binged on lately?
So I'm not a TV person, movie person. I'm never
Any
home.
podcasts? The No Snooze podcast.
But I do have a TV show. My
Mike
sister
Singer?
got me on. It's called Rain.
Rain.
And
Oh, I
yeah.
saw it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now,
I haven't
and it's
started,
about
but I
like
should.
Mary, Queen of Scots, and like her whole life. It's crazy.
Oh,
You
I'm
should watch
thinking of
it.
the wrong show. That sounds good though.
It's crazy.
I binge watch literally every day. What is that? The ID channel. It's always
Really?
on.
What is that?
ID Discovery.
Investigation.
But investigation
Because
Discovery.
my brain just like
Wow.
I like to hear it.
Wait, so Rain, ID channel?
The ID channel is always on. And
I need
like-
recommendations because
yeah.
I'm not really a TV guy
Yeah.
either.
This is kind of embarrassing to say. We've been watching Lost, which came out like 10 years
Lost.
ago.
Yeah,
I've
Lost
never
is like-
seen it, so-
Yeah.
We cruised through The Office recently, which I
I've
never
never seen that
saw,
either.
and that's one where I giggle every episode.
Wow, I am trying to remember the show. So we don't binge watch it, but I watched it when I did binge, and I forget the name of it.
Okay.
Terrible. On the FX channel. It's his name is Franklin, and he is
The turtle?
No.
I-
It's about cocaine.
Oh,
and
Snow.
Snow? Is it Snow?
I don't know. That's something about cocaine. I would assume.
No. It's not Snow.
Wait, is it it's older?
I think I know what
Hello?
you're talking
But it's
about.
literally
the professor who made
it's an
like,
amazing TV show too.
It's about
Breaking Bad.
People, no, not Breaking
Breaking
Bad.
Bad.
His name is
he does
Franklin.
this all the time.
Can you Google
it's
that
literally
and get
like
back
you're
to
with
me on it?
someone who's got
Can you
no
Google
memory.
that?
No, seriously. Like if you Google Franklin cocaine show, this will come up.
It'll probably-
But it's an
yeah.
amazing show, and
Franklin.
honestly, he's a tactical genius in business. Obviously, we're not saying go sell drugs.
Yes.
But
You can learn a lot.
from the show, you really can learn a lot.
I have an.
Snowfall, yes.
Snow.
Incredible show.
I have another
show.
one. If you really want a recommendation, Money Heist.
Oh, I
Ooh.
love.
But
I
isn't-
started watching it,
It's
but
it's in Spanish,
Love it.
right?
You know what?
No,
you know what
it
kills
was
me?
in Spanish.
The mouth doesn't add
Yeah,
up to
it's
the
like a
subtitles.
kung fu movie.
Well,
Sometimes.
yeah.
I'm going to steal
It's like a
this bank.
Hashimoto, like doesn't. You know? You know what I mean? Though I hate when the voice doesn't align. But
I feel like they got better with that because I saw
But it's in
it
Spanish.
I saw it a long time ago when it was only in Spanish and they
Gotcha,
had
and they got
subtitles.
better.
Now they even changed the title of it. It used to be called Casa de Papel. Now it's
Yeah.
called Money Heist.
Money
Casa de
And-
Papel, House of Paper.
House of Paper.
Right. Well, it's
Yeah.
about the
Paper House.
Yeah, where
Paper
they
House.
the mint where they make the money in
Oh, is it,
Spain.
wait,
Yeah.
is it House of Paper or Paper House?
De is of.
How?
Yeah, but it's House of Paper,
A paper
Yeah.
house.
not Paper House.
No,
See,
I-
that's why I get confused. Like, because I think in Spanish, and like,
Me too.
you know, so like that's why I always get
See.
confused. So, but you're right. It's
It's a house of paper. Casa de Papel is direct translation
Yes,
is
house
house of paper.
Yeah.
How's your Rosetta Stone coming along? By
Not
the way,
good. I was learning a little Italian.
he was talking
and
about episode 1. I remember he's going to learn
Italian.
Italian. How is Rosetta
a couple
Stone
things
going?
I haven't done. No, I don't. Duolingo, I do.
Oh, Duolingo.
exclusively.
I have Duolingo. I have like 4 languages in there. I'm trying to learn.
Gomorrah. There's an Italian mob show
thought you were
that I
saying
want to
good
get
morning. I'm
into because yeah, good morning,
Gomorrah.
So that, but what we want to do is teach Olivia Italian and learn while she does.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna sneeze.
What?
Oh.
He's gonna sneeze.
We're in a health crisis. Can't be doing that. You all right?
Yep.
He's trying to hold it in.
All right, I'm
You're
good.
supposed
All right,
to say bless
cool.
you and then you don't sneeze.
Really?
Yeah, bless you. There you go. Look at
Bless
that.
myself.
Okay. Last one I have here.
I don't know why I had an
If you
accent.
didn't live in New York, where would you live?
California.
Texas.
North Carolina.
So for me, it's anywhere on the water. I think it would be Puerto Rico.
Oh, we can go anywhere.
If you didn't live
I
in
was
New
staying
York.
in the States. Italy.
Oh, well, you live in Connecticut.
I would go
but-
to Italy.
Italy and live there, yeah?
Yeah.
If you could?
Yeah.
Have you been?
You really, though, seriously, think about that.
I honestly
Like, you would
would-
leave your family all of your
Are we
family.
saying now or
No,
like in
if
a
you
different world?
If you didn't live here, where would you live? Would you?
Oh, like realistically?
Yeah.
No, I can't live in Italy yet, but eventually, yeah, I would
No,
live in
because
Italy.
I really think I would go to Puerto Rico because it's
Oh.
only like a
I love
3-hour.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's 3
Yeah.
hour.
But I would need like a PJ to live in Italy because
Yeah.
I'd have to come back and work.
CV, where would you live? Curious. Would you go to? He's from a pretty cool island. Where is it? Tenerife.
Tenerife.
Sounds cool.
That's Canary Island.
CV, you mind if I come live with you?
Is that close to Spain? Oh, yeah. My geography
Wow.
is
The
trash.
The Canary Islands are beautiful.
Oh, that's what I should have
yeah.
said. Oh my God. People who really know me, when I ask that question, what are you terrible at? The real answer is geography. Golf is second.
You know what? Now that I think about it, math, which is really
See,
ironic.
there you go. It's hard on rapid.
If we knew it would give
rapid
you
is-
math
rapid
I
questions.
am
makes it
the worst at
makes
math.
it makes it
I'm
kind
not
of
the
tough.
best at math.
That was
Definitely
was
not.
actually fun. I like
That was a good one.
We might have to
That
do
was a
that,
good
that
segue.
section. Before we wrap up, want to give you guys an opportunity to tell everybody where they can find you, seek your services, but also want to acknowledge and thank you guys for seriously coming on the show.
Yes.
You guys
Of
are
course.
incredible
And
individuals.
the cookies. That was you
Oh, yeah.
guys
Oh.
literally know how to butter a couple of guys up with some
Beautiful.
cookies.
It was
So
the little voice said, "Buy cookies."
that's
I
right.
had that voice all the time.
When you go grocery shopping.
Eat cookies. So where can everybody connect with you guys?
You can connect either to our page, The Vegan and the Beast, on Instagram. It's at The Vegan and the Beast Podcast. Or you can, or you can follow me on Instagram at live.in.victory.
Yes.
Oh, that's you too, huh?
Yeah.
I know.
And you can find me __ v.lo _
By the way, I have
Yes.
a pet
A lot
peeve
of
about
underscores,
that.
huh?
Wait, before you, because I need you to do that again because I interrupted you.
Right.
But it's so hard to find people with double underscores.
'Cause you can't see that
You can't
it's-
you can't
search
see 'em.
it.
Yeah, but she's being like mysterious. That's
Yeah,
part
but
of the brand.
but it's tough because I've literally tried to search some people before.
With the
and
double underscore.
Yeah, and it makes it tough. And I remember the one I was searching had it in the middle of his name, and I kept putting one, and I'm like, dude, your page isn't coming up. So it's double underscore.
v.lo _
Gotcha.
Yeah. I had that. I actually remember that when I was making it, that was an issue, but it wouldn't let me do it with just one underscore.
Maybe somebody stole that.
Maybe someone had
Someone
something similar.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah.
And there's an email for you guys too, right? If people have like questions and stuff for you.
Yeah.
Like, do you usually run
the
that through the
Vegan
podcast
Beast.
one or?
Yeah, you could send it to the podcast, theveganthebeast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So this is now. Don't make fun of us. All right, but we do like this little corny section at the end where
Okay.
we leave listeners with like quote or a little motivation to get them through. So
Okay.
this will bring us to Dave's Dime of the Week.
dimes. I forgot mine.
I
see-
forgot.
yeah.
I have.
This one, actually, you guys are gonna love this. I'm talking to you two. Hello.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You guys are gonna love this.
I ignore
one.
him too.
And I didn't even know where this conversation was really gonna go.
Okay.
Okay.
But this is big. If you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion. For your passion will lead you right into your purpose.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
That is life.
Yeah.
And did you get that from a quote or did you make that?
No, that's a quote.
Okay, I was just curious. Who did it by?
I think TD
That's
Jenks.
the best. Is we just
I
quote
think TD
stuff,
Jenks,
but we don't
actually.
say who we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I feel like you
Really?
guys
TD
are
Jenks.
very official with like your mantras, and
Yeah.
I'm just like not official.
I was excited to tell you mine because it's been
yeah, I wanna hear your guys'
Oh no
first, 'cause I gotta think.
no. So now, but this is why I said don't make fun of us because
Yeah.
we do the little dimes, and then
Yeah.
when he introduces his,
After you guys go because I got to think
because
of
he's
it.
not ready. Okay.
Okay.
I do a little corny sound effect.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Yeah. But we can go to you ladies first.
Yeah, you guys are
Sure.
prepared.
My mantra has been my mantra since high school. And it's be who you are and say what you feel because those who matter don't mind and those who mind don't matter.
I love that one.
That's a good one.
Do you know who said it?
J-Lo.
No, unfortunately. Dr. Seuss.
Wow.
Big fan of
That's cute.
doctors.
Such a big
So that's
fan.
one of the doctors
That's-
you like.
Yes,
That's a
I
good
like that doctor.
Yes.
Come full circle.
Veronica,
Okay,
talk
so
to us.
mine,
It's true.
Okay, so my I don't think it's like motivational or anything.
It doesn't matter. It could just be a something you live by. You know, something that
so I do live by this.
You stick to, and yeah.
Don't trust anybody with bad eyebrows.
Ooh, I'm screwed.
Because what does that mean about them?
Don't trust anyone with bad eyebrows.
I can't.
What is the eyebrows have?
It's just you have like it's just become such a trend to have like perfect eyebrows, and just like it takes a lot to take care of them. So if you're not like, don't take any advice is really from somebody.
Okay. Well, I kind of see. So the way I took that was
Don't trust people with bad eyebrows.
no, yeah. Well, because
About your eyebrows.
because maybe that person isn't taking enough time to take care of themselves.
Self-care.
So it's almost like
That's
a
what I-
self-care and
that's what I
confidence
think.
thing.
Yes.
So it sounds a certain way.
That's
Yes.
like never trust a
But
skinny chef,
but
all those
deep,
things.
Yeah, the deeper meaning of it is actually pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. Talk to us.
I'm going to do a quote, and it's going to be Miguelito's mantras.
Ito.
Miguelito
Ito.
means
You see
little
what I'm saying?
Little Michael.
That's our little corny.
It was
joke.
my name in Spanish class where I retained zero
Miguelito.
information.
Miguelito.
I know a little bit. Don't wait for the right moment. Get the nice candles. Put out the nice silverware because today's a celebration.
Wow.
like that.
That's
I
pretty-
ad-libbed a little of
Wow.
it. There's a more formal version of that, but that's my remix.
You guys are so deep. I like this.
I
That
love
is
that.
good.
Basically,
Yeah,
I
so-
said, don't hesitate. Go out and have a drink.
Yeah, I like that. Well,
in so many words.
this was very fun.
Awesome.
It was incredible.
a good-
Ladies, we thank you again. Until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after it.
That's another Effie in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze.